Hey guys, I got some exciting news. I got a Battlefield Hardline beta code, so what you'll be watching now is actually me playing and not my buddy Boom from the last gameplay footage that I put out this morning or today. This was the last game I played tonight, so that is why all the footage I'll be putting up tomorrow will be earlier ranks. But I wanted to quickly go over my first impressions of the beta, or as quick as I can, before I went to bed, so you guys have something to watch when you wake up, if you don't have school or work. So, Battlefield Hardline. Before this beta was even announced at E3, I was somewhat excited about this game, but overall I was more interested but didn't really know what to think of it since I'm used to playing, the last Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 2 I played a lot, and I've played all of them basically back to Battlefield 1942. So I'm kind of used to, being in an army and like having tanks and all that kind of stuff. So this is a huge change in direction, and I think a lot of people, including me, were thinking that the next Battlefield would have been another bad company. But I guess we were wrong. So we'll see what happens in that area of the game. So to make this easier for me to talk about and stay organized, and so it's easy for you to listen, I'm just going to go over the overall concept, the game modes, the gun mechanics, and the gunfights, this one map, and the graphics and sounds, just so I can keep it organized and clear. Before beginning, keep in mind this is a beta, but it's actually more like a pre-beta, so I bet almost everything I talk about will change a little bit before launch in October. And if you have the beta, please don't be one of those people complaining about the game already. It's a beta, and it's not the same style of Battlefield you're used to, or I'm used to. Just get over it or play something else. But yeah, that's my rant for tonight. So let's begin. The concept. The overall concept of cops and criminals is extremely different from the usual army versus army battlefield, but I'm starting to really like this concept. I personally have always thought about what a massive multiplayer first-person shooter would be like with cops and criminals, especially after playing so much Rainbow Six and all the different Counter-Strikes, where the maps and amounts of players are quite small. I feel like what DICE has shown already in their trailers looks like a lot of fun, and the time I've had playing this game just today alone, I don't see myself getting bored of this game anytime soon, especially once there are more maps and all the other game modes. So the game modes. There are many game modes that will be in Battlefield Hardline, but right now I'm just going to talk about the game modes in the beta. So the first is Blood Money, which is where both teams have a spawn point with vehicles, and close by they have a armored vehicle that is set in its place, and it's like kind of part of the game. And with this armored vehicle, both teams have to stuff it full of money, $5 million to be exact, and the first person to get to that wins. The second game mode is Heist, which is where the criminals need to get inside two armored trucks to get two packages, and then bring those two packages to two different locations on the map. Two. The cop's objective is basically just to stop them at all costs. Overall, these both have a lot of replay value. They're both kind of intense and crazy in their own ways. The vehicles actually come in handy, and it's a lot of fun just flooring it around the city. It's not a huge maps for both of these game modes. Maybe it's just a beta, or that's what they're going to be like. But overall, it's a lot of fun just going crazy around the map, and it can get pretty intense for both sides, with the timer going down and both teams rushing to the different locations that you have to be, or maybe when the money for both sides is getting really close to 5 million, and you have the ability to steal the money from the enemy's team's armored truck which can be pretty crazy if your team has some good, communication and coordination, and it can make for some pretty crazy games. So far the game modes are pretty fucking awesome, and I don't see myself getting bored anytime soon. So the gun mechanics. The gun mechanics and overall gunfights are actually really good, at least for me. I haven't really had any problems with filling people with bullets and them not dying, or myself dying around corners, or trading kills, trade kills. I'm sure I've had a few, but it's nowhere near the amount of Battlefield 4, even after the netcode patch. Aiming and firing seem a lot smoother than Battlefield 4, and I feel like I know I'm hitting the enemy when I'm firing at them, because I'm always getting lots of hit markers compared to Battlefield 4, when you either weren't getting any hit markers or you only get like a few, even though you know you're hitting the guy. And also something that's cool, that is new with the hit markers, is they will actually go red when you are hitting the enemy's head, so you know you're firing in the right spot. Also, I like the amount of suppression there is in the game, and I always feel like if the enemy doesn't have good aim but hits me a couple times, I can always get to cover without any problem, which is a great change from Battlefield 4, where that is nearly impossible. The map. There's only one map in this beta so far, and it's a pretty cool concept and design overall, with the big buildings that you can go to the top of and zip line down. But the graphics, for me personally, they're not that great. I think they could be a little bit better, but of course this is the beta, so we'll just leave that alone. And the same thing with the graphics overall, with the characters and stuff like that. They could all be a lot better, but this is the beta, so I'll just leave that alone as well. One thing with the characters, both the criminals and the police, I would like it if they could look a little bit different, especially the criminals. The criminals all kind of look the same, so it's kind of annoying, just because it would look better if they had their own kind of style for each class. But overall, the sounds of the game are actually fucking awesome. I love the things that the cops and the criminals say during all the fighting. I love the sirens. I love the car noises, like the engines, the tires. The gun sounds are pretty fucking awesome too, but all of these things could be a little bit better, but once again, it is the beta, so I'm sure they will get polished before the final version. Finally, I want to end with two things. The Levolution is a crane falling down, and when it does, holy shit, does it shake your game and your screen like crazy. So that definitely needs to be changed, and brought down the volume of shake. But overall, this game is a lot of fun, and like Battlefield 4, it can be an amazing game. I just hope DICE figures its shit out and releases a complete or almost complete game with a few changes that I'm sure me and many other players would like to see from our experience with the beta so far. Thanks for watching and listening, guys. I got some crazy kill streaks during this match, and I hope I get some more to show you guys. Any thoughts or questions you guys have about this game, please feel free to leave a comment, and I would love to talk about it more. Thanks. See ya on the new Battlefield.